Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Thursday, the 15th of Muharram 1445, corresponding with the English date 3rd of August 2023. The ayat of Surah Al-Waqi'ah, فَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ فَرَوْحُ وَرَيْحَانُ وَجَنَّةُ نَعِيمٍ. Hazrat Wala is saying that on one occasion, Hazrat Maulana Ali Mia Saheb said to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb that, Hazrat, हम लोगों को मजमून की क्या कमी? What shortage of an article or a topic or subject matter do we or will we ever have? Meaning, जहाँ से उठाए बयान कर दे. Wherever you open up from the Kalam-e-Pak and the sacred speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are volumes there. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to also open up like that, and he would read and pass on important topics to us. And this is also tawfiq from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah ta'ala allows you to speak from Quran. Look at Ibn Taymiyyah, ayat after ayat. Look at the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah. Open it up and you will be able to understand. Allah Ta'ala make us from amongst the muqarrabeen. So here, Allah Ta'ala is saying, فَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. Therefore, meaning, after leaving this world, if someone was from amongst those brought close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you were from amongst those who were close, brought close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then فَرَوْحُ وَرَيْحَانُ وَجَنَّةُ نَعِيمٍ. That person shall have comfort, sustenance, and the Jannat of bliss, the gardens of bliss. وَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ الْيَمِينَ. If he was from amongst the people of the right, فَسَلَامٌ لَكَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ الْيَمِينَ. He will be told, peace be upon you, you are from the people of the right and have nothing to fear. Hazrat Maulana Mohammad Ahmad Saheb. People would think sometimes that how come he's putting one person here and he's seating another person there and seating one person on top and one person on the bottom. But he would refer to this ayat of the Quran Majid, فَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ, that Allah Ta'ala ne khud maratib qaim farmaya. Allah Ta'ala himself has designated different stages and levels. Sometimes people would come and he would give them tea, milk tea made with milk. Sometimes more people would come to the majlis, due to which himself he would then come down, and those who are on top also then would come down and sit down, so that everybody could be barabar sarabar at one length, because then the place was too full, and then he could not then correctly and rightfully put whom he wanted to at whichever desired place he wanted to. Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb was not a Hafizul Quran. He would say to us that I cannot lead the Taraweeh Salat. मैं पढ़ा नहीं सकता, लेकिन कोई गलत पढ़कर निकल नहीं सकते थे. Whoever is reciting Taraweeh Salat, if he recited wrong, he would not be able to come out, meaning I would pick that up immediately, maybe even correct him. you people would know that after the Dhuhr Salat, Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb would sit in tilawat of Al-Quran, and he would take the tarjuma of Sheikhul Hind. And he used to say कि जी चाहते हैं कि अब इसका दर्स शुरू कर दो. My heart desires that I sit now and start making dars of tarjuma of Sheikhul Hind, referring to Tafsir Usmani. And he even went on to say that I even want to write and add to this. And our Hazrat Wala is saying, Kash ke zinda rehte or likhte, if only Allah gave him that life and that he could have written. He loved this tafsir much, the tafsir of Hazrat Allama Shabir Ahmad Usmani. And for the common people, it is something which is very, very easy and simple. So anyway, I am saying here that Allah Ta'ala has stipulated and designated and set out different stages and status and boundaries for different people. He didn't just put everybody just together like that. Now tell me, should we not read a tafsir of this nature? There is admonition in this here. Rather, let me tell you about Ibrahim ibn Adham. You know, when he abandoned everything, rahimahullah ta'ala, his wealth and his palace and his riches, then people then came to him and said, Hazrat, don't do this. What is it? If you're fearing something or this or that or the other, we'll arrange for the army for you, this or that or the other. But what did he have to say? He had to say that I am concerned about the verse in the Quran. Fariqun fil jannati wa fariqun fis sa'ir. One group will be allotted to Jannah, the gardens of paradise, and the other to the pits of Jahannam, fire hell. So therefore, he abandoned it. He left it. You know, we have great challenges in this path as well. Talab mal, hubbe mal, talab jah, hubbe jah. The love for wealth and the love for status. However, that love for status is something which is even worse off or more challenging than the love for that of wealth. Now tell me, you know, people come here into the Kutub Khana and they open up the kitabs and they open to the first page to see that Maulana opened this kitab, and what did he take or what did he learn or what was some important mazmoon that was written in the kitab. I am actually addressing the ulama here, that when you find articles like this here, immediately you must make a note of it. In the start front cover page there, make a note of it, so the next time you open up that kitab, the kitab is full, hundreds of pages, but there in the front, you've got a marking there on a certain page, there's a very important article or some great lesson for me. So this was the style and the andaz of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab. I can tell you up till today, I open up his Ihya'ul Ulum and I go over those mazameen and those articles and topics which he had marked off. So we're speaking about the muqarrabeen, those who enjoy proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. Therefore, after they leave this dunya, if someone was from amongst the muqarrabeen, those brought close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he would have comfort, sustenance, and the gardens of bliss. He would have delight. So we're speaking about the muqarrabeen. Today also, there is a great weakness and deficiency here. Every person wants this degree and that degree and the other, but nobody is speaking and talking about the degree of the Salihin, the degree of the Ashabul Yameen, and the degree of the Muqarrabeen. We so worried, we called up for an interview, we didn't know how it went and how the person took the interview, what is his analysis after he has finished with us. We worried about that, but we've got no concern about the categories of Salihin, Ashab Yameen and the Muqarrabeen. And every person wants to pass. Every person wants it to go well. Every person wants that interview to be successful. So وَأَمَّا إِن كَانَ مِنَ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ الضَّالِّينَ. However, if he was from among the rejectors, the disbelievers and the deviated astray ones, فَنُزُلٌ مِّنْ حَمِيمٍ وَتَصْلِيَةُ جَحِيمٍ. He will be served boiling water and shall enter the blazing fire. إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ الْحَقُّ الْيَقِينِ. إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ حَقُّ الْيَقِينِ. فَسَبِّحْ بِاسْمِ رَبِّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. This is most definitely the irrefutable, the undeniable truth. So glorify the name of your majestic Rabb, meaning do your best in securing salvation for yourself in the Akhirat. So you have that person who's from amongst the Muqarrabeen, the Kamilin, those who have reached levels of perfection, that group, and they would be granted great rewards, boons, bounties, etc., special mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is absolutely unlimited. The second category there, another category, is that category of the Ashabul Yameen, the people, the common people of Iman. They will also get gifts. However, they would most definitely be lesser in status, in reward, in every aspect compared to the category of the Muqarrabeen. Another category is the category of the Mukaththibeen, the Munkireen, those who rejected, those who were deviated. So this category here that are deviated and the rejectors, at the time when they pass away, immediately already at that time, adab and difficulty will be their lot and will come their way. And for the people of Iman, they will be given the glad tidings. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ نَحْنُ أَوْلِيَاؤُكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُكُمْ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَدَّعُونَ نُزُلًا مِّن غَفُورٍ رَحِيمٍ. Okay, so those ayats there that I quoted to you now is the ayats which Hazrat Wala then quotes. After reading those ayat, Hazrat Wala then starts to translate those ayat of the Quran Majid. That verily those who say that our Rabb is Allah, and then they are then steadfast on the Iman and fulfill all its requisites, angels shall surely descend to them when they are about to die, saying to them, neither have any fear of the future, nor grief over the past, and rejoice about the Jannah that you have been promised. نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. We are your friends in the life of this world, meaning always guiding you to do good. وفي الآخرة, as well as in the Akhirah, where we shall welcome you to see to your needs. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُكُمْ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَدَّعُونَ. There you shall have whatever your heart desires, and you shall have whatever you ask for. نُزُلًا مِّن غَفُورٍ رَحِيمٍ. This is the hospitality from the generosity of the most forgiving, the most merciful. This is the hospitality from Allah Rabbul Izzat. Now, how many people really read that who are the people of Ita'at, and what are their rewards? Who are the people that are going through difficulties, etc.? Now, this is the Kalam-e-Pak. Every portion of it, every bit of it, every surah, every word, every letter of it is haqq. Like how you would have Surah Baqarah of the Quran Majid, you would also have Inna A'tayna. And any part of the Quran that is rejected will lead to the loss of Iman of that particular individual. This is for one and all, for the Arab and the Ajam. You know, my Saeed used to say that amongst them you would find even those whose level of taqwa, taharat and piety is so amazing. You would find those who would weep profusely. This incident also, on one occasion we were there, we went for the Jummah Salat, and this person was going on that the Arab are like this and they are like that, they don't do this and they don't do that, and just complain after complaint. And when they sat in the Jummah, and when the Imam then gave that khutbah, with such type of a pain and grief and sorrow that was emanating from his heart, that feelings that he actually was perceiving, he shared it with the people regarding some type of taklif that was meted out to some Muslims in some part of the world. So I can't even explain to you that and tell you that. Now when we tell this person, but you just said now that they like this and they like that. Now what happened? Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala an denied himself from having that sharbat for one long year. But then what will it be in the akhirat? وَلَكُمْ فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون. There you shall have whatever your heart desires, and you shall have whatever you ask for. Whatever your heart desires, you'll have it. Whatever you ask for, it will be there, you will have it. إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون وفواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين. There was a Kashmiri Imam that would recite this portion of the Quran Majid, and Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to say कि पढ़ता है, meaning he's reading wonderfully and he reads well, लेकिन समझता नहीं. Lakin he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Now we learn from this year that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb Muslihul Ummah wanted it like this, that people who are Imams, that they are reciting great portions of the Quran Majid, but they don't even know, or they are not aware of the meanings, or they are not conscious about that when they are reciting it. So here we're speaking about the Muqarrabeen, the ones who are brought close or given proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So muqarrabin in'amat se nawaze jayenge. The muqarrabin will be given great ni'mats from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ashabul Yameen najat payenge. They will be granted salvation and rahat and sukoon. With that they will be granted admission into Jannah. However, मुनकिरीन मुकद्दिबीन खुदा की लानत गज़ब और अज़ाब जहन्नम में मुब्तला होंगे. Those who rejected, those who belied, they will be under the wrath, anger and azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the fire of Jahannam. Now Hazrat Maulana Idris Saheb is saying, A'adhan Allahu minha, Allah ta'ala save us from that and grant us entry into Jannah out of His grace and His mercy. And make us from the Abrar, the pious. Ya Rabbal Alameen, Birahmatika, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Tamma bihamdillah, tafsir Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Now at this time, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is writing that the tafsir and the commentary explanation of Surah Waqi'ah now has been terminated and it has come to an end. Now, here we're speaking about the muqarrabin and the different darajat. You know, just this part here, Hazrat Wala is saying, muqarrabin in amat se nawaze jayenge. The muqarrabin are going to get the great boons and ni'mats. The ashab al-yameen, they will get salvation and they will be at peace. Right? So there's maratib here. Now Hazrat Wala speaking about just that paragraph there, he says that this tukra, that's just this portion of the article or the whole tafsir here is so amazing that it is like making naqal of the tafsir azizi on that level. So this is the majlis. This is what we have to share. So Muhammadun basharun la kal bashari bal huwa yaqutun bayn al hajari. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a human, like how we all understand this here. He was not malak. He was not an angel. He was a human, but not just any ordinary human. However, like a gem, a very precious, expensive pearl, gems, stone, just amongst other pebbles that are lying there. So, when this Sheikh, an Ali Medin, saintly person, recited these couplets in the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was granted ilham and made to understand that Allah made His maghfirat and the maghfirat of every such person that was sitting and present in that majlis. Now Hazrat Wala is saying, from this year we understand the importance of staying in the jamaat of the salihin. Salihin ki jamaat mein rehne ka yahi fayda hai. This is from amongst the many benefits of sitting in the company of the pious people. So bashar is bashar. Human is human, they are not angel. And angel is angel, they are not human. However, bashar mein fark hai. Amongst the humans themselves, people, insan, there are differences. There are levels. In Hira, Ghar Hira, when Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam came and he squeezed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, embraced him tightly, and at that time Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam became fearful. And he came filled with fear to Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha, saying to her, Zammiluni, Zammiluni. At that time, what actually took place? It was that Malakiyat overwhelmed Bashariyat. The Malakiyat, this angelic portion of Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam overwhelmed that of the bashariyat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Time passes on. Both of them are on this great journey to the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam stops and doesn't proceed. What type of a friend are you? We were together all the time and now you leave me just like that? But what did Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam have to say? He said that now at this point I cannot go, you proceed. If I come, the tajalli of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is so much that it will burn me. It will destroy me. It is so great. So he didn't even go and proceed, not even 1 inch forward. Now tell me, is this not in the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Muhammadun basharun la kal bashari bal huwa yaqutun bayn al hajari. Read it, it's written in the kitabs. Hazrat Maulana Qasim Nanotwi has written such naat and couplets in the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And what do people say? That these people don't have the love of the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Wala is saying, I went to South Africa and Bhuta Saheb was there and I was making bayan. I spoke on this aspect as well, just what I quoted to you now of Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, etc., the entire incident, and he was taken aback. He really appreciated it, and he said, Maulana, where are you speaking from and what are you saying? We have never heard something like this here before, this type of ulum and ma'arif. Nevertheless, we're speaking about muqarrabeen. Allah Ta'ala हमको भी बशरियत के ऐसे मकाम दे that we're speaking about the high level of the bashariyat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're speaking about the muqarrabeen. Allah Ta'ala also give us a high level and a high stage, and it must be such that बगैर रोक टोक जन्नत में पहुंच जाए, that we reach and we are admitted into Jannah without being interrogated in any way or questioned about anything. Without any of that, we are granted entry into Jannah. You know, a child was just born now in the family. Hazrat Wala is referring to that part of the family, daughter Mas'uda. Allahumma aslih li fi dhurriyyati inni tubtu ilayka wa inni minal muslimin. Oh Allah, bestow righteousness to my progeny. Inni tubtu ilayka, I turn to you in tawbah. Wa inni minal muslimin, and I am from amongst the Muslims. Whenever a person, there was some type of parashani. In fact, a person came who was troubled by his children, and he asked Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb for a wazifa. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb made talqeen of this particular dua. Allahumma aslih li fi dhurriyyati inni tubtu ilayka wa inni minal muslimin. I mean, what an amazing dua. What is the person actually saying here? That, oh Allah, you make islah of my children. Such a type of an expression of helplessness, fana'iyat, humility in the grand court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that, oh Allah, I can't even make islah of my own self. Where will I able to make islah of another individual, here in this particular case, my own children? Oh Allah, you do that for me. You help me. You assist me. You grant islah. You grant righteousness to my children. There was a person that was saying at the establishment of a certain madrasa, what is this here? They're putting up madrasa here and this and that and the other. Nevertheless, he was reprimanded. And what did we have to tell him? And what was said to him? That it is because of these madaris and these children that are learning here that The adhab, the wrath and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is being withheld. Hazrat Maulana Abdul Majid Saheb asked Hazrat Tanvi on one occasion that Hazrat, Allah Ta'ala speaks so much about Jannat and Jahannam in the Quran Majid. How is it that the ulama tabqa, the Maulvis don't speak about this? Hazrat Tanvi then acknowledged. He said, absolutely correct, absolutely true, that Allah Ta'ala has mentioned it so much, but we have it nowhere in our talks or in our bayans. Hazrat Maulana Ali Mia Saheb came for the Islahul Muslimin Jalsa. And Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb said to him, go and speak about Jannah and Jahannam. So he said, impromptu, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb is saying this to him and is about to leave to go and give and deliver his lecture at Islahul Muslimin, which was a huge grand jalsa, which was back in the day, which used to take place. Nevertheless, what does he say? That Hazrat, now where do I get the subject matter? Immediately Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb stood up, went to the shelf, opened up the Quran Majid, Tafasir, and showed him the articles and the topics which he could speak about regarding Jannah and Jahannam. Now make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He blesses us with Jannah. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-Jannah wa ma qarraba ilayha min qawlin aw amal wa na'udhu bika min an-nar wa ma qarraba ilayha min qawlin aw amal. اللهم أصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث أصلح لي شأني كله. اللهم اغفر لأمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ارحم أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم تجاوز عن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم فرج عن أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أصلح لأمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.